we've settled the argument of where the conservatives now can rest in peace and realize that, yeah, this guy's right. You know what? Reverse taxation. What could be better? I hate paying taxes. Make the government pay me. So let me ask you how the liberals feel. Hey, this is great. This entitlement program. You know, we love entitlements, right? Everybody knows liberals of today, you know, the contemporary definition, they, generally speaking, love entitlements. And hey, I think that's great. I can dig that too. And I both hate taxes and I love entitlements because I think. So I ask myself, what's the problem here? And you understand, to you conservatives I speak, if I believe the entitlement is an inheritance, a God-given inheritance, God-given right that I'm entitled to share in this planet's prosperity, this planet's wealth, the intrinsic wealth of the planet, then who are you to suggest I'm not? If you need a harsh taskmaster to tell you what to do, to boss you around, tell you when you got to punch into work, tell you when you can get off work, okay? That's fine. That's for you. I don't need that. And I know a lot of people that don't need that. Because in order for me to be free, I have to live on my terms. I have to serve how I want, for who I want, when I want, and where I want. And that's the only way any of us can be free, if nobody's telling you how to run your life. And if you need someone to tell you how to run your life, that's your problem. Okay? Deal with it. But I can't deal with that problem. I don't need anybody to tell me that you should do the right thing and not be selfish and self-centered and self-serving all the time. That you need to go out and do something for the betterment of humanity, to use your God-given talents, your creativity, your productive, constructive instincts, and go help your fellow man and be a part of this beautiful tapestry of humanity. Okay, I don't need that at all. So the liberals now, they defend taxation because they like entitlement programs. Okay. So let's say, well, then who are we to tax? You see, this is where there's a dividing line. Who to tax? Now, what liberal out there say, hey, I want my taxes to go through the roof. I mean, I want my property taxes to go up a couple $1,000%. Is there a liberal out there that wants that? But yet, aren't you condoning high taxes? Aren't you saying that taxes are great because they solve economic problems? I mean, the whole thing, it should become glaringly absurdist to everybody out there, ridiculous to everybody I'm speaking to, okay? Because again, that is the source of where the wealth is coming from. And these people we elect to office, that we're paying their salaries to put us in debt, to do all the things they're doing in the destruction of our nation, in the theft of the wealth of our nation, for generations. If we let them get away with imposing this debt on America, we're not only letting our nation go down the tubes, we're letting the entire world go down the tubes. So the best thing we could do to demand sound currency is say no to the debt. Because this debt, if left to stand, we're just going to have a slow simmering, infinite, in perpetuity debasement of our currency. A slow simmering debasement of your standard of living. Do you get how that works? It's really, really simple. And that's the funny thing about economics that I've found from all the research I've done. And I've read some great minds out there. Yes, I've read Keynesian, and I think the guy's an idiot. I'm sorry. But, I may be misunderstanding what he meant. I mean, he'd have to come back from the dead and explain to me. But it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But what does make a lot of sense to me is guys like Adam Smith that devoted his life to the study of economics. And he was a decent human being. Because if you get into economics and you're not a decent human being, you've got no interest in getting to the bottom of this. All you are is a brown-nosed, boot-licking sycophant, and I've got no respect for you, and you're going to hell if you embrace that idea of saying, hey, it's okay to have this peasant class. As long as you're up here, okay? with the elitist class. Okay, it's not okay. In anybody's book, in any stretch of the imagination, it's not okay, and you're going to hell. Because if you're a hypocrite, you're not going to be able to stand before your Creator and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to justify my line of thinking with a lot of psychobabble. No, the fact is, and this is something the mainstream media, the schools and universities, the political class, the banking class that creates the policies, the money printers, the money worshipers don't want you to know, is the fact is that contrary to popular belief, humanity can and will someday live together in total peace and harmony, safety and security. And it's through prosperity for everybody. That's the only way you can set the captives free, is that there's nobody above you. There's no hierarchy. There's nobody to tell you what to do and when to do it. If you want to go pick strawberries, man, have to it. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing any of the lowly level jobs. What's this written in the Bible? It says, those that seek to be great in the kingdom of heaven must become servant of all. Hey, for all you know, it's an honor for me to scrub your toilet. Big deal. Big deal. You're going to look down on me for that? You don't look down on anybody for deciding to do some very important job, but it has no status whatsoever. How about all the factory workers out there? Look at all the stuff that comes out of factory. This camera I'm using right now. And the factory workers involved in that, regular folks. They weren't the designers or the engineers of the equipment. They were tasked with assembling it. But a critical part to having that product manifest and be realized. Everybody out there, folks, we need truck drivers. How much education does it take to make a truck driver? So education isn't the answer. Not to everything. Get as much education as you want. I'm for learn whatever you want. I do. I find no end to subject matter that interests me, that I can explore and delve into. And I encourage it. But you can't say that it's the answer to everything. It's not. I know why most people get educated, because they don't want to be peasants. They want to be in that middle class, that upper class. You know, the elite class. Don't we all worship the rich? I mean, you know, the whole thing is absurd. Absolutely. Our paradigm is false through and through, end to end, from the get-go. It's a charade. The entire economic system is built on nothing more than fraud. And that's all I'm saying. All of us in concert, liberals and conservatives, Democrats, Republicans, all of us have to stand up to these people and call their bluff. I mean, when they say, hey, it's supply and demand, that's why your cost of living is going up. Say, that's bull. That's bull, because the amount of housing in California has dramatically increased in the last 10 years. And that's about the period that the percentage of homeowners has been diminished to the point of being less than half the state. You get it? You get what I'm getting across to you? So with price fixing and market manipulation, supply and demand is out the window. And then people want to blame labor because there's all this talk about raising minimum wage. That's your check and balance. That's the accountability. That's how you maintain a standard of living. And you want that standard of living to increase. What is progress? That the standard of living isn't increasing for everybody across the board. Because every job's important or it wouldn't exist. Why would you want to take the dignity away from the common worker? Why? Why? They should be exalted, if anything, the people out there picking your food. The people out there pounding nails to build your houses, to bring you clean water, to bring you electricity, to bring you the merchandise that you buy in the store, in the grocery store, in the other department stores, whatever. The people making your clothes. All these people are worthy of dignity and respect. Who will argue that? So it's not labor that's causing the cost of living to go up. That is the check and balance. It's not a chicken or the egg thing. The cost of living went up. That's a justification for the COLA, the cost of living adjustment. Do you understand how that works? It's so simple. It's so simple, but they don't want you to know how simple it is. They don't want you to figure out these simple truths. That the natural order of economies is a rising tide of prosperity lifting all ships. The reason that happens is we invent new ways to be productive more easily, taking less man hours. It's all very simple. Adam Smith writes about this. And it's all so simple, folks. It really is. That really, there's no excuse for any of us being ignorant about basic economic truths. Okay, so I want to end this video right now. And, you know, I come off really serious and I know manic sometimes, but you know what? I am passionate about these subjects. And it's a very serious subject, and I think we really need to be sober-minded. And this helps me to enjoy my leisure time. This helps me to genuinely laugh, you know, to have a sense of humor, because I get things off my chest. And I recommend everybody does. Go speak out, make videos, talk to people, you know, spread truth, ask questions, provoke thought, inspire thought in people. But this is a serious issue, and if we let these people, these top money printers, their political cohorts, their mainstream media cohorts, and their educational cohorts get away with this, it's over, folks. It's just going to be, like I said, long, simmering misery and suffering. You know, they're just going to